This one don't have the thing that goes up. Okay.
Yeah. You just push it forward.
There we go.
You don't feel too tight in there, do
No, I'm good.
it? All right. What's...
Shining?
You know.
Shining, shining, shining,
You know.
shining.
You know.
You know, just a little bit.
What's up, everybody? Come on in.
Where y'all at?
Come on in.
What is happening in these streets?
So do us a couple of things. Comment to let us know we are live so that we can know we...
That you can hear us?
Yes, definitely.
Let us know. Let us know. What's up, Facebook world? How you feeling?
I'm not sure how to pin
Happy
a comment.
4th of July. Happy 4th of July, everyone. Hope y'all having a good 4th. Yes.
So we give us a couple seconds.
What you want me to write it?
Trying to see if it allows us to pin it.
I should.
Last time it didn't let me.
Oh,
Oh, there you go.
Bam.
All right, so we got some people. Just comment for us. Type hashtag BMC. Hashtag BMC. Maybe this is how we get to the comments right here. All right, so let me see.
Hey, hey. What is happening, everyone? How's everyone's day, 4th of July?
We got two
What's going
setups.
on?
So we on IG, we on Facebook.
So
So
we
we
like
making
this.
sure we getting everything straight. Okay.
That's how I'm feeling like.
All right, all right. I think this is our first time live together.
Yes,
on,
it is.
On Black Marriage Club. Sometimes I wonder if they even believe I have a wife.
Well, you know, you gotta keep the prize
Keep the prize
hidden
hidden.
until treasure. That's what it is.
Keep the treasure hidden.
The treasure hidden until.
All right. Type hashtag BMC for us. Let us know that we are live and you can see us and that you can hear us.
Yes.
I would hate for us to be 10 minutes in and...
We talking and then y'all don't hear nothing.
Yeah,
You know what
so
I'm saying?
please let us know.
I don't think we still can see the comments on here.
Oh, we
so I don't know what's going
swipe
on.
left to see the comments. Oh, swipe left. Oh, okay.
We live for the.
All right, okay, we
702.
good. We good.
Usually,
All right.
Usually 305, but we're not in. What is that? 305 is.
Yeah.
Florida.
All right, cool. So let's get started.
Yay.
First and foremost, welcome and thank you for watching. This is our first live that we're going to be kicking off on Sundays at 5:30 PST time, 8:30 Eastern time, every Sunday at Black Marriage Facebook group and IG Live. My name is Artis Anderson.
And I'm Zedoria Anderson.
And we are obviously
The
Andersons, right? Just a little bit about myself. Again, my name is Artis Anderson. I do music. I'm in education. And I'm also the founder of, along with my wife, Forever Love LLC, which is a relationship consultant firm. Okay, so what we do is we help people with marital issues. We help single people with their dating issues. We help engaged people with their, premarital situations and counsel and things of that nature. So we're excited about what we do. I'll let my wife introduce herself.
Well, I already said my name, but I'm Zedoria. That's how you say my name, okay? So a lot of people jack it up because they don't pronounce the I, but it's Zedoria, okay? You got that? All right. So I am, what do I do so much? Okay, first off, my full-time job, I work for a bank. I work for banking because I can't talk about what bank I work for on live. I work for a bank. I am a part-time hairstylist, mobile hairstylist. I'm a dancer. I'm a lover of Jesus. I am, what else am I? Yeah.
Now, I want to say an event planner. but-
Event planner.
just to be clear, because my wife is probably going to want me to do this. Now, she will not proclaim to be a relationship counselor
Yes.
or a relationship consultant.
Yes.
That's more so of my avenue. But what she does bring to the company is not only experience as a wife, but also the ability to sympathize, empathize, listen, and give women, especially wives, very good counsel as it pertains to being a great wife, improving as a wife, and understanding what it takes to really support your husband.
Oh, that was so sweet.
Thank you. Thank you.
He make me sound good, y'all.
You know.
This is amazing.
Yeah.
I'm not going to cry today, y'all. I'm not going to cry.
Now, we know it's a holiday.
Lashes.
We know it's a holiday. And we know people are out and about. So I know a lot of people are going to be watching later. Mm-hmm. But this is our first live in Black Marriage from Black Marriage Club. So shout out to Nay Shobawale.
Yes. Hey,
Okay.
hey.
Shout out to Demola Chef Shobawale.
Yes.
Appreciate you all for giving us the platform.
Definitely.
We are the presidents of the Las Vegas chapter of Black Marriage Club. And we work closely with the CEOs and the founders to make sure a lot of things happen. And we are excited about the future of BMC. But enough about that. Tonight, we're here to talk about marriage expectations.
Oh, what you got?
Marriage expectations.
So what you expect? What you expect in your marriage? Tell me about it, cause
We got to get real about this thing.
real.
Yes.
Okay, let's be real.
Because a lot of people come into marriage with expectations.
Yeah.
So let me get to my notes, right? We're going to dive into some of our notes that we have for y'all today.
Okay.
And we're going to have a real conversation, okay? Listen. Number one, there are very few things more disappointing than unmet expectations. Mm-hmm. It's almost hard to find something close to the disappointment that comes with unmet expectations, especially when it comes to a marriage. Most, if not all, significant others have relationship expectations, right? Mm-hmm. Most, if not all, fiancés have, I'll say, premarital expectations going into the marriage. Pretty much all married couples have expectations, okay? And so the thing about that is we understand that expectations are something that is a part of marriage and relationships. Mm-hmm. The real question is, are they realistic? The real question is, are your expectations too high? The real question is, are you living up to the expectations set for you before you complain about the expectations not being met for you? Okay? And so one of the things I want to share first, and we'll kind of bounce back and forth, unmet expectations, they're kind of like a driving force to unhappy relationships. And if you really want to be transparent about it, most people who are unhappy in their marriage, expectations are not being met.
Yeah.
That's what it really boils down to.
True.
And so when you have expectations in a marriage, sometimes those expectations can come from family members, television, social media, magazines, movies, friends, your own head, or whatever you've seen over the years. But the thing is, when you expect your relationship or your marriage to be a certain way specifically, then if that doesn't happen, you're going to be unhappy. And you're going to be frustrated. Mm-hmm. And you're going to be disappointed. And that's what's happening a lot of times in our marriages, in our culture today. Shout out to all the beautiful married couples that are thriving. Definitely. Shout out to all the perfect, flawless relationship and marriages that are thriving. We know there's nothing wrong with yours. We know that none of this information applies to you. Shout out to your flawless marriage. But for everybody else,
which is everybody else.
If there is some unmet expectations in your marriage, we want to help you get to the root of how to figure out how to move through that and navigate that. Okay? So, first and foremost, I'm going to just go through these real quick, right? There are different types of expectations in marriage and relationships. Number one, you got finance expectations. Mm-hmm. Number two, you got emotional expectations. Number three, you got time expectations. Number four, you got communication expectations. Number five, you got intimacy expectations, which is not the same as number six, sex expectations. Okay. Number 7, spiritual expectations as it pertains to your belief system. You may both be Christian, you both may be Muslim, or whatever the case may be. So you have expectations of your spouse to live up to those things. Number 8, you have interaction expectations. How do we interact in public? I want to hold your hand. I don't like holding hands. I want to be lovey-dovey. I need my space. Those are expectations. Number 9, respect expectations. Don't talk to me a certain way. Why can't I talk to you this way? It's rude. No, it's not. We have different expectations, right? Number 10, future expectations. Well, why are you still working this job? I thought we were going to be working towards more. Well, why are we still living in the same apartment? I thought we was trying to get a bigger house. Well, I'm cool with where we live at. We ain't struggling. We got a roof over our head. What's the problem? So we have future expectations. You got parenting expectations. Why don't you take care of the kids today? Why ain't you
spank them?
Why don't you? Oh Lord, you went straight to the spanking.
I'm just saying.
Why ain't you feed the kids? Why ain't you do the laundry? I've been at work all day. So you got all types of expectations going on. Number 12, decision-making expectations. How do you come together and make decisions? Who has the final decision if you both can't agree? This is real stuff. Number 13, in-law expectations. Who's going to check the in-laws? Who's going to talk to the in-laws? Whose house we going to for Christmas? What year is it? Whose turn is it? All these types of things. Number 14, housekeeping expectations. I could go on forever. But the point is, you see how many different expectations we have, okay? There's a lot of different expectations that we have in our marriage and our relationships. So what we have to be able to do is figure out how to navigate those things, okay? So I'm going to ask my wife, out of all of these, which one stands out to you in terms of what you think a lot of married couples deal with?
Finance expectation.
Okay.
Communication, intimacy, sex,
Mm-hmm.
in-laws.
In-laws, definitely.
Parenting,
Mm-hmm.
and decision making.
So all of those.
Yeah,
Okay.
mostly all of them.
Okay. So listen, I'm gonna get to my first point, and then I'm gonna let my wife get to one of her first points. Okay. The first point I want to talk about as it pertains to marriage expectations is this. Okay. Number 1, all expectations need to be communicated effectively.
Yeah.
Listen to the words that are coming out of my mouth.
Hey, that's the same as mine.
Okay. Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Well, we're going to talk about it together. Number 1, all expectations need to be communicated.
Oh, well, mine's kind of coincide with yours.
Okay.
Never mind.
Yeah.
We always do this. We do ours separately, and then we come together and talk about it. So
Yeah.
it's kind of one of those like, okay.
Yeah, because so all expectations need to be communicated. The problem comes in is as the marriage goes on, the communication kind of falls off for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And it should be happening in reverse. In your marriage, your communication should be increasing more and more. But what happens is psychologically, because you've been with somebody over time, over the years, you think you got it and you think you know it and you think you figured it out. So you start talking less. And that's the problem. You can't talk less in your marriage as you get up in years. You need to talk more. You need to become more detailed about your conversation. Because even in communicating expectations, which I'm saying you have to communicate them effectively all the time, the last thing you want to do is call somebody to try to figure out what you're trying to say or read your mind, because the last thing anybody wants to do is deal with an upset spouse to figure out that you could have just told me what was wrong.
Right.
And that I didn't live up to your expectation, instead of going through a week of, attitude and problems and blah, 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 that leads to more issues. Did you want to jump in?
Yeah, so that kind of coincides with what I was going to put, being able to understand that your expectations on someone, you can't have the put expectations on someone if you're not willing to do it yourself. So communication is one of them. Like, if you're not willing to communicate with someone or show them how to communicate or how to, if it's even just being affectionate, that individual being affectionate, like, why are you not being willing to do it yourself, but you expect them to do it, and that puts a strain on the relationship because the marriage, and it's like, why are you even expecting me to do that if you're not even willing to do it yourself?
Yeah, because what happens is, for example, a lot of my clients, what ends up happening is something isn't done, but it's expected to be done. So on the back end, hey, why didn't you do this? Well, why are you trying to control me? Why are you trying to dictate what I do? Boom, boom, boom. Let's figure out what's happening here, okay? Here is the issue. For example, let's just say your spouse comes in at 2 a.m. and they didn't tell you where they were or what time they were coming home. What's going to happen when your spouse gets home?
Where you been?
Where you been? That's going to be the number one question. The second question is going to be what?
Why didn't you tell me?
Why you ain't tell me or contact me or text me or call me? Like, these are normal things, right? Here's the problem. Did you tell them that you want them back at a certain time? Or did you just expect that they will come back at a certain time because you feel like that's the respectful thing to do?
Right.
See, you can't assume anything. Assumptions are a dangerous thing in marriage. We all do it, though. We all, at some point, assume certain things, and then when we get upset, we have to come back and kind of talk about it.
Yeah.
But the problem is, you need to be able to communicate. Hey, you going out with the fellas? You going out with the girls? Cool. What time are you going back? I don't know what time I'll be back. Well, I would like it if you're back around like at least by 1. That'll make me comfortable. Now the expectation is set. Now, when they come home at 1 or before, there's no issue. Okay? Common sense. Bring your butt in the house. Now there's no wrestle because the communication has happened, the expectation has happened, and at the end of the day, even if you feel like you can stay out longer or whatever, that's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah.
But at least the conversation took place and there's an expectation and it can be met if the spouse decides to meet it, right? And now there's no assumptions. It's not like, well, I thought you was coming in at 10. I never said that. But we talked about this last year. I don't remember that conversation. So this stuff tends to happen.
Yeah, last year,
Yeah,
you need to be communicating. I mean, you need to come to where are we at moment every month, every 30 days. Who are you every 30 days? That's a good.
That's a good point.
That's a good point because.
Now, me and my wife, we started our marriage that way.
Yes.
We said every 30 days we're going to check in. We have failed tremendously. But we do a good job pretty much communicating. Even if we get upset, even if we get mad, we kind of know what we're mad about. We kind of know what we're upset about. And it's no secret. Like,
right.
We're never upset with each other and it's a secret. It's
right.
like, we know. It ain't no walking around the house, what's wrong, boom, boom, boom. It's like, we know, right?
Know.
Because we talk about those things. Yeah.
But that's true, Richard. He was saying that knowing the love language of of the individual, like that's true. Like of your partner, like you got to know their love language. Like that's why the love language book is very good to do together. I think plug. You know what I'm saying? Hashtag love language book. I forgot who was by, but it's a really good book just to see yourself. And also, we did it like in the beginning of our marriage.
We did it recently.
Yeah, and then we did it recently and realized that it changed.
Yeah.
Mine didn't change, but yours did.
I got like all 5 now.
Now he want to be all, he wants affection.
It's all 5 for some strange reason right now. Yeah. It's
what?
Weird.
Like, huh?
It's weird.
But yeah, so it's good. 30 days, 45 days. It's good
Gary
to check
Chapman,
in.
that's who it is. Gary Chapman.
Yeah, but it's definitely good to check in.
So we have let's talk about what is appropriate in terms of, hey, Richard, give us 10 minutes, okay? Give us 10 minutes, okay? I'm getting all right, let's talk about what is appropriate in terms of going out in a marriage. Coming home the next day, a whole 24 hours later.
What?
Okay, let's deal with that.
Right, let's talk about that. First of all.
All right, number one.
Number one.
All right, number one. Okay, let's deal with this.
Oh, goodness.
At the end of the day, when you get married, your spouse is priority. That's first and foremost. I don't care about your friends. I don't care about your job. I don't care about your business. Even though I struggle with that. I don't care about your job, your business. I tell my stuff. I don't care about your job, your business, none of that. I don't care about your mama or your daddy or them nappy grandkids. The first person that is your priority is your spouse.
Yeah.
Why? Because when you get married, you become one with them. And how does it feel when somebody pokes you with a knife? It hurts. So how does it feel when the disrespect, the dismissive mentality or attitude, or any of these things begin to affect an individual in the marriage?
Right.
It affects the other person, even if it doesn't affect you directly, okay? Coming home the next day is ludicrous. So first and foremost, we covered that. Number two, if your spouse is coming home the next day, you have to recalibrate the marriage and reset the expectations. That's number one. You have to just put everything to the side, take a day off from work, go get some lunch, have lunch in the house, whatever it takes, and really just talk about why did you come home the next day? Talk to me about what's going on.
Yeah, I was going to say that, there's got to be something going on in that with the individual. Why are they tending to not want to come home within 24 hours? What are they running away from? What don't they want to come home to? Because for any marriage, you want to come home. You miss your spouse. You want to, especially if you've been at work all day or you've been around so many things, even been around your kids. You want to come home. If you don't want to come home within 24 hours or after 12, 14 hours of a long day, something needs to be addressed. What's going on with them, Yes,
100%. Just to piggyback off my wife, if somebody's coming home the next day, there's something wrong.
Yeah, something's wrong.
There's something going on. Okay, she said she has an answer for that. Cool. And this is why we do the lives also.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about these topics every week, but if you want to just ask a question, we're going to answer it live. Definitely. It doesn't even have to be on topic. We're here to help you thrive in love. Black Marriage Club. We're here to see you thrive in love. The reality is something's wrong, okay? And there's always a reason for why somebody does something. Whether they're honest about it is another story.
Right.
But there's always a reason why people do something or why people does something.
Yeah, because I meet a lot of people that they will work a 12-hour shift and then they would go to the bar with their coworkers or whoever because they don't want to go home. So within that 24 hours, why they don't want to come, it may be a reason why. The reason why they don't want to come to you. So
yeah, we get into an argument, and he says it's to avoid the drama or dealing with an argument and possible consequences. Me going on about how. So, Whitney, this is what we got to deal with. Yeah. Now we're gonna have to have an honest conversation. Come into our living room. Come into our living room. Come in with us. So your husband made. Now this is not to put y'all on Front Street. But being that you commented, I'm assuming you're okay with this. Here's the reality. Most men can only handle a certain amount of discussion. Ladies, remember the words that are coming out of Artist Anderson's mouth. And I'm saying this in front of my wife. Now, my wife doesn't do this. She just be dumb with stuff. But the reality is this. The average man can only take but so much conversation or discussion or arguments or disagreements. So you have to make sure that you are not unloading. You have to make sure that you are not unloading too much at one time. Because remember, your husband cares about how you feel. But there's a limit to how much he can receive or hear about how it made you feel. So that's number one. Number two, men like to get to the solution. So if you have to talk about how you feel, give it about 15 minutes or less. Just say, hey, listen, let me just vent. Get your vent done. 15 minutes or less. Cool. Now let's get to the solution. But here's the problem. Number 3, don't bring it up tomorrow because we talked about it yesterday.
Yeah.
And we got a solution done yesterday. If you got a solution done, if you had to pause and come back the next day, then of course that's different, right? But the reality is, the reality is, at the end of the day, what we need to be able to do is do this: be able to deal with situations without arguing, and deal with things in a way that is progressive. At some point, we got to move past how it made us feel and deal with the actual issue, even if the issue is about how you feel. So, but again, Whitney, inbox us. We can set up a private session.
Definitely.
Let's get that going. Inbox us ASAP, and we'll get that session set up for you. Don't unload the clip. Listen. Point number 2, and then we're going to bring on our sponsored guest for today. Point number 2. Y'all, I hope y'all ready for this one. Point number 2, when it comes to marriage expectations. I hope y'all are ready. I hope y'all are ready. Point number 2, please, I hope y'all are ready. Okay.
I'm ready. Can we get it?
Uh-oh, problem is we don't trust the resolution will be filled. Oh, okay. That's true too.
That is true. But
pause real quick.
Yeah.
My wife wants to jump in.
Because I understand as a female perspective.
Yes, please.
We love to talk. We love to vent. We love to just get it all out. And we want the man to really listen.
And we should listen.
But that's where we have to understand as women, our spouse, and knowing what they really are needing and what they can handle. A lot of us just keep just at the mouth, and we don't realize that they just shut down. They're not even listening anymore. So it's always a moment where we have to be able to just say what you need to say, ask for that conversation, ask for them to, something for them to come back on.
Ashley,
and
what
then
up?
After that,
yes.
you just,
My wife
leave
is
it for what it is.
Yeah,
and
she's putting it perfectly.
I think the thing too, like a lot of us women don't have someone to talk to about it too. Quality people. Thank you. Someone that is going to really help you, not someone that you can just say, "Girl, you wouldn't believe what he did," and then they
leave him.
Right, and they have
leave
to like,
him.
Boo, you need to.
Boo, you need him. Leave him.
Boo,
I ain't
whatever.
taking no mess.
He should be doing that. Whatever, and all that. So. No, you need to have someone that is literally has a sound mind, someone that may be more educated or whatever you want to call it, that may be diverse or whatever in
Shout out to Winning Wives. Connect with the Winning Wives.
Definitely. And
quality.
But I think that's the biggest thing, just knowing that, like, that's why we're here. We're here for that. Like, you need a community of women that you can talk to, because a lot of it is like, a lot of us have our spouse as our best friend, as that person we always telling about our problems and all this stuff. Ladies, these men don't want to hear all that. Like, they don't give a, I'm about to curse. They don't give a rat's behind what half of the stuff that we're saying. They're just
there.
A
little bit of it. Just a little bit.
Just to,
the rest is for your friends.
They're like, so we gonna do it or what? Like, I mean,
let's
we
get
gonna,
it on.
Like, can we have makeup sex? Like, they think about stuff like that. But it's just the thought of like thinking about this is what they need. I mean,
we care about y'all.
You do care,
and we love y'all. We just have a limit.
Yes,
and that's why you have friends. But
yes.
real quick, let me plug BMC real quick and Winning Wives.
Come on.
Because I want y'all to understand what Black Marriage Club is all about.
Yeah.
The stuff we're talking about, yes, we're Forever Love. We are the in-house counsel and consulting firm to help all of you all in private sessions with your marital issues and problems, etc. But Black Marriage Club is really designed to bring marriages together so that you can connect with, watch this, people like Winning Wives.
Yeah.
So that the things you can't talk to your spouse about, you can go to these Winning Wife events all across the country, right? The next one is in Houston. The next one is in Houston.
Right.
Okay. Make sure you go to Black Marriage Club, look at the announcements, go to IG, go to the link tree, get all the events, get the dates. I'm going to post that stuff later at the end, so keep watching. But understand that BMC is designed to bring these types of things to you. Never duplicate it. It's only one BMC, baby. But we have a great question real quick, and then I'm going to get to point number 2. if you say how you feel and it's being dismissed, ignored, or generally not being addressed, then what? Well, the reality is, if that's the case, number one.
What up, though? I'm sorry.
What up, Ashley? What up, though?
What up, though?
What you have to do is you have to find a different way to communicate it. And a lot of people don't like to take the time to do that.
Oh, I hate it, y'all. I hate it.
Let me give y'all some tips real quick.
I hate it.
You, in your marriage, you have to become very good at expressing different ways.
Yeah.
And trying to attack conversation multiple ways. So if something is being dismissed, that's be the first thing I would tell you. The second thing I would say is sometimes people are not dismissing you.
Yeah.
They're dismissing the situation. Mm-hmm. They're dismissing the fact that, you know what, I'm tired of talking about this. So they're like, man, I'm done with this. Like, so don't always take it personal. But again, hit us up in the inbox. We can deal with your personal situation one-on-one because I want to make sure you get the help that you need at Forever Love. But here's point number 2, right? Point number 2. Okay, point number 2. Are y'all ready for this? Please tell me y'all ready. Point number 2. Does your expectations match the maturity and character of your spouse?
Baby.
Because see, here's what's happened. Okay? Here's what's happened. You have an expectation of your spouse that they don't have the maturity or the character to live up to.
Go. Good God.
Which means you fell in love with what you thought they could be instead of who they actually are. And so now your expectation is, in your head, you're supposed to be doing this. You should be responding like this. You should be treating me like this. You should be and all of it may be true. But here is the point. The point is your expectations. Yeah, yours. Your expectations. That's right. Your expectations. Not your mama, not your daddy. Maybe it is your mama and daddy expectations too. But your expectations don't match the character or the maturity of your spouse. Now, before you go dog your spouse out, before you go do that, let me say this. It doesn't mean that they're a bad spouse.
No.
And it doesn't mean that they can't eventually mature and become who you expect them to be. But here is the point. The communication has to be solid. Expectations have to be set so that you two together can grow into that together. Mm-hmm. Because at the end of the day, if your expectations don't meet the maturity or the character of your spouse, all you're going to do is frustrate yourself trying to get them to be what you want them to be. Okay? Great point.
Yes.
This
definitely.
is all stuff you should talk about in premarital counseling.
That's why it's so important. So important.
So important.
And we're not saying that because we do this, but it's so important. Like, we did it. So.
Yeah, you know, so the reality is we have to understand that is the reality. The expectations of your spouse, okay, that you have for your spouse must match the character and maturity of where your spouse is right now. So real quick, we're going to take a commercial break. I want to bring on a brother named Robert Gibbs. He is a sponsor of Black Marriage Club. He is a very dynamic individual who has something very important coming on. So Robert, if you are watching, come on live right now so we can get you in here. Okay? Come on in, Robert.
Where you at? Are you here?
Yeah, he should. Let me see. While he's coming in, did you want to get to another point? Or did you want to piggyback?
Let me see what I got. Hold on.
Okay, here we go. Here it comes. Okay. Boom. Approve. I said Robert?
You call him Robert. That sounds like Robert.
I meant to say Richard. Sorry. Richard.
I was like, Robert. Okay.
No, it is Robert.
Oh, well, it says Richard on the thing, so.
I wrote his name down wrong. That's my fault. Richard. He's coming in, y'all. But listen, as he's coming in, sometimes Facebook takes a while. Here we go.
What's going on?
Here we go. What is going on? We can't hear you yet.
Can't hear me?
Yep, we can hear you right now.
Okay,
There we
good.
go.
How y'all doing?
What's going? No, we good. Yeah, we good. What's going on, man? Listen,
Nothing much. How are you?
all is good, man. All is good.
I see you calling me Robert, man.
Man, look, I wrote your name. I wrote your name down as Robert, right? And my wife said, no, it's Richard. I said, but his name, I wrote it down when I talked to him earlier, and I done wrote your name down
Nah,
wrong. God,
it's all good, man.
Yes, sir. Richard.
Yeah.
Appreciate you coming on live, man. Appreciate you supporting Black Marriage Club. Listen, first and foremost, I want to introduce you officially as Richard Gibbs.
Yeah.
A man married for 4 years, okay? He's out of Augusta, Georgia.
Hey.
And he has a Facebook group called We the Fathers, okay?
Amazing.
We the Fathers. Richard, tell us a little bit more about your Facebook group.
Well, basically, it's just
the purpose behind it.
Well, about 4 years, well, not 4 years ago, about 3 years ago, two to 3 years ago, I was going through some stuff with a child's mom, and it brought me down to like a weak spot. And I would say it was like my lowest point, you know, as far as trying to get custody of joint custody of my daughter. And it brought me down to a low spot. I didn't have anyone to turn to. I didn't have anyone to talk to, even though I was married at that time. And I would discuss things with her, with my wife. I just felt like I needed to vent a little bit more than what I was. So I'm working somewhere, and I say, you know what, let me just make a group real quick to help uplift Black individuals or Black males. And that's when I came up with We the Fathers. It just came up in my mind, just out of nowhere. So I did it. Next thing you know it, I kind of like put it to the back burner because I had some other stuff going on. And then a year later, I said, you know what, let me get this thing vamped back up. So ended up getting it vamped back up. Now I'm charging full forward with it.
Okay, you back on.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
All right. I don't know why y'all couldn't hear me from the beginning. So what?
No, we heard you from the beginning. Yeah. We just didn't hear the last 3 seconds.
Okay. Well, like I said, I revamped the We the Fathers, and I just went charging full forward with it.
Yeah, man. How has the response been?
It's actually been pretty good. It's the group is kind of small right now, but I've been watching videos on how to grow it and stuff like that. And the one main thing that I've learned was you don't want to just get any old body inside of there. You want people in there that's going to bring some, I guess you could say, good taste to the community. So I'm not worried about the growth of it or whatever, but I just want to get to Black males, and you can either, you know, have children, be married, even, you know, single people that want to have children. But it just comes to just, it's a community just for the Black male, pretty much.
Yeah, and it's interesting because you're talking about a dynamic that our community don't really talk about.
Exactly.
We don't talk about enough of how much fathers, Black fathers, struggle to be in their kids' lives due to the fact of, I don't want to call it disgruntled mothers, but, you know, I'm not going to say bitter either, but I'm just going to say, you know, the not so happy women who have children by a man for whatever reason, you know, but it's something that needs to be talked about more. And I feel like your group is speaking to the issues for Black men of what we go through and what we deal with, so that the whole community at large can understand the bigger picture. It's not just single women that struggle, but also single Black fathers who are struggling to just have a relationship with their child, just trying to do it in peace. You know, I even have situations where I've been told guys who are taking care of their children are being taken to court to be put on child support. And now they're having to put more money out on top of still having, and it's hard to make a living. Yeah. And so, you know, it's a lot of different stories, man. Did you want to talk about that for a minute or so?
Yeah. Well, see, as far as the people, as far as trying to go to court and stuff, that was my situation. You know what I mean? when our relationship ended, I ended up going to court myself to legitimize my child. Because I want, you know, at the end of the day, to legitimize your child, that's just giving, that's saying that if anything were to happen to me, my heirs would go to my child. You feel what I'm saying? So I put myself on child support. I went to the courts and I legitimized myself, but it was a testly experience trying to do that. You know what I mean? A lot of court paperwork and a lot of stuff like that. But yeah, I just want to be that voice or be that ear to listen to black males, because at the end of the day, there are a lot of black males that are going through things and they have no one to turn to. And we're always looked upon to be the strong black males. Nothing could be wrong with us. But at the end of the day, when everybody else is sleeping, your black male is probably sitting at the edge of the bed crying. You know what I mean? There's probably a black male in their car at the end of the night of shift, just sit in their car and just cry. And we gotta normalize hearing out black males with their situation. So the group is basically, like I said, just to just be that listening ear to help other males out. You know what I mean? If they're going through issues as far as with, you know, a child's mom or just anything, you know, just be that listening ear.
Yeah. How old were you when you went through that?
I'm 35 now, so probably about 33.
Okay, so you were still young dealing with that situation while being married.
Exactly.
Like these are the things black men are also going through in our culture and in our society.
Yes.
You know, but I salute you, man.
Yeah, we're always looked upon to be the
100%.
alpha person, and nothing can ever be wrong with a black male. You know what I mean? But there are things that go wrong with black men, and believe it or not, you know, like I said before, he could be at that edge of the bed at the end of the night while everybody else is sleeping, and just, you know, slumped over crying, or you know, just having so much tension or the weight of the world on them, and nobody will ever know, and that will take you to a dark place. That will take you to a dark place, and before it stems out to being something else, I'd rather just listen and see what we can do to help them out.
Definitely, man. Well, I salute you, man. I'm glad you was able to come on.
Yeah.
Everybody watching, type in the search engine on Facebook, We the Fathers. Click to join that group and be a support to the black men who are taking care of their responsibilities out here.
That's all that is.
Definitely.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, man. We're gonna connect too.
Yeah, of course. We'll definitely connect. And it was a pleasure meeting y'all. And, hey, it's always good talking to you, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate you. Appreciate you, man. Talk to you soon.
All right, y'all take care.
Yes, sir. So that is We the Fathers. We appreciate them for sponsoring Black Marriage Club, but even beyond their sponsorship, man, it's just the fact that, you know, understanding that there are men out here trying to be who they, to their kids, who they need to be, want to be, and should be. And so we need to change the narrative in regards to our black fathers. That's why in the Black Marriage Club Facebook group, on IG, etc., we're always trying to speak more about the males as it pertains to the family and the household. And so that's an important dynamic, man. But I want to get to one more point, and I'm gonna let my wife get to one point. I'm gonna let her go first, though.
You sure you want me to go first?
Yes.
All right, this is for the ladies because I thought it was kind of interesting, because I know this is something that we as women tend to like not think it's okay. But listen, ladies. Okay, first of all, you should not expect your husband to be the one that is bringing in the bread. He want to wine and dine you. You know, he's the one rubbing your feet, rubbing your back, doing all this stuff for you, and you ain't trying to get him nothing. Okay? So, one thing I would say about that is that, you know, we have expectations for our husbands and the things that they expect, but you know, they have needs too, and those needs need to be met when it comes to that. Even when it is like, you know, we feel tired, we feel drained, we feel like, we ain't got time for that, and that's all they want or something, like, thinking all that stuff. But I know he loved this, but it's just the thought of,
now I'm reading the comments.
oh, it's just the thought of being able to understand that, if you expect something and that's what you want, then you should be able to give it up.
Yeah, just from a male perspective, right? I hear often in my counsel sessions with different guys, their expectation of sex isn't being met. On the contrary, a lot of women are saying the same thing.
Wow.
Well, here's what it is. It's an interesting dynamic from my experience with my clients. Men are not getting it as often as they need it or want it.
Right.
Okay.
But
right. But
that's a whole nother story.
But listen though, here's the thing.
That's a whole
men are not, so men have a high expectation for sex often.
Yes.
Women have a high expectation for quality sex.
Yes.
Even if it's not often.
Yes.
So here's what's happening. From my experience as it pertains to, counseling and consulting. Men are having issues with the amount of sex they're having, meaning their wives aren't giving it up as much as they used to, if not at all. And I always tell people, I'm a broken record with this. If you were, okay, let me be nice. Listen, I'm just saying, yes, I will. But if you were a porn star before marriage and you become a nun, Sister Act 1, Sister Act 2, after you get married, that's a problem. That's a problem. Okay? Y'all can hear me say that a lot. But here's the point. For men, it's not as often as they would like it to be. For women, they complain about the quality of sex that they're getting. And I'll just leave it at that without going into detail. But at the end of the day, my wife is 100% right. I think, and I'll speak for the men, male and female, we can't expect something if we're giving our minimum. Like, we can't expect the maximum out of our marriage or from our spouse if we're giving the minimum, okay? And that's a very good point. Sister Mary Clarence, rock on, sister, rock on. So listen, I got one more point, and then we're going to finish. Well, I got some questions I want to get to that people sent, and then I got some announcements. My last point for marriage expectations are, are your marriage expectations realistic? Now, when I say that, most people are like, yes, mine is realistic. Yep. Yes, mine is realistic. Yep, show it. Yep, me, mine. It is good. Yep, everything I expect is definitely realistic. Let me help you out. You want me to help them out? I'm going to help them out.
Help them out, brother.
Don't forget that people are human. That's number one. You didn't marry a robot. Okay?
Can you do the robot?
I am an android and I'm married to I'm loading. You didn't marry a robot. For all you Android users, that was a shot at you. Okay? There you go. You can't expect the maximum if you are given the minimum, and that's a great. And I want to hammer that point home. Okay, that's the point. That's the point I want to hammer home. We can't forget people are human. Okay, we can't forget people are human. Okay. But we have unrealistic expectations. That's a great point. Maurice just commented. He says, "I'm going to give you the world." Can't nobody give you the world. Stop. Stop saying that. Stop saying that. Okay? The reality is this. One of the greatest things you can do is give somebody all of who you are. Right? That should be enough to a degree. But here's the other thing. If your marriage expectations aren't met, that shouldn't make your willingness as a spouse to do things stop. Meaning, amen. You will never get a Whopper from McDonald's. Thank you, Shutter, to Think Photo. Appreciate that. That's a good point. Right? You will never
Man,
Ever,
I want a
ever.
Whopper, man.
Y'all in these Whoppers, man.
Oh.
You will never get a Whopper from McDonald's, right? A comment from IG. That's a great point. But here's the thing. Just because some of your expectations aren't being met doesn't mean you should just stop giving and stop being a great spouse or lower your effort levels. Like, don't drop your effort just because some of your stuff ain't being met. That's childish. That's tit for tat. That's tit for tat. Okay? We don't want no tat, just a tit. But getting back to the point. Okay.
Wait.
Do you really? Do you realize?
Wait a minute.
Do you really expect your spouse
Oh my God.
to just do everything
Yes.
all the time?
All the time.
That ain't realistic.
Says who? Oh, the mother. But the mother can do everything
Your
all the time.
Listen, the mother can't do everything all the time.
Hey.
The father, listen,
Hey.
it's a team. The mother,
Yes, it is.
where the mother slacks, the father picks up. Where the
Yes.
father slacks, the mother picks up.
Yes.
Now, if it's an imbalance, you need to come to the table and talk about that,
Yes.
right? You got to talk about that.
Yes.
But here is the reality.
Yes.
Your spouse is not always going to be romantic.
Mm-hmm.
Your spouse is not always going to do or say the right thing. Like, you got to stop expecting your spouse to say the right thing at the right time, at the right moment, right when you want it, and right when you expect. Like, come on, man. Stop. It's just too much. Y'all remember the list of expectations that I listed in the beginning? You got marital expectations, communication expectations, sex expectations, parenting, in-laws. I mean, the list, you're only one person.
Right.
Yo, give your spouse a break, okay? That's your spouse is not going to always feel like it. And so at the end of the day, that's what we got to understand, okay? So just to wrap up our points for marriage expectations, we have to understand a few things. You have to communicate all your expectations. Mm-hmm. Your expectations has to match the maturity and the character of your spouse, okay? And number 3, you have to assess whether or not your expectations are realistic, okay? And that's what we'll stop there. I had a few questions that people sent me. I want to make sure I ask these, okay? Here's the reality. With these questions, take them with a grain of salt. Take my responses with a grain of salt. But I want to, in case these people are watching, I want to honor these questions. I'm going to give a brief answer. Number 1, how do you tackle the core issues without arguing? The issue is with behavior, not necessarily with the spouse. So getting to the root of the problem peacefully, that's a great question. Number 1, how do you tackle the core issues without arguing? Number 1, make a decision not to argue. Make a decision not to argue. Number 2, emotional stability. Mm-hmm. You have to be in control of your emotions. You have to be in control of you. And you won't argue because you are in control of you, which means you got to get yourself under control and get your feelings under control. Get your emotions under control. Get your thoughts under control, okay? The next thing is this. You tackle the core issues by this very simple thing. Talk about what the actual problem is and not how you feel.
Yeah.
Oh, my Lord.
Yeah.
If y'all say another thing about how you feel, Lord help us all. Listen, we care about how you feel.
Do you?
Men and women alike. But we got to talk about what the actual problem is, and then we can get to the solution. You telling me what you felt, how you felt, when you felt it, where you felt it, how you still feeling it. Okay, I get it. Tell me what the problem is. What is the problem so we can get to the solution?
Oh, God.
But the reality is that's how you tackle core issues without arguing, okay? Prerequisite, you got to have 2 mature people to be able to do that. Also, make sure it's a good time to talk for both people. Yeah. If somebody's tired, that's not a good time. If somebody is having a bad day, come home from work, whatever the case may be, it's not a good time. Okay, my wife came home from work tired the other day, and I'm trying to get some work done. It was a terrible timing on my part. She was tired. I should have realized it, and I should have just let it be. I didn't, but it's okay. She didn't get too mad. She didn't yell at me. We didn't argue. But that's a good thing, because we, So, but here's the reality.
But I was tired, boss.
But she was tired, you know. Next question. So hopefully that answered that real quick. Rapid fire. Why must I bend to my wife's needs? Because happy wife, happy life. Psych! Happy spouse, happy house. That's what it really is. But here's why you should bend to your wife's needs.
Yo, this guy.
Here's why you should bend to your wife's needs. Because number one, you're her covering. You are the head of the home. Your job is to cover the needs of your wife and your kids, which means you become the first sacrifice every single time. You become the first sacrifice every single time. Men, listen to the words that are coming out of my mouth. You are the first sacrifice every single time. Mm-hmm. Okay? And if you got a good wife, she's not going to abuse it.
Yeah.
I'll leave that right there.
Mm.
But
Drops mic.
Drops mic. But let me pick it back up real quick. Let me pick it back up. But here's the reality.
Testing.
Oh, it's on. It's quiet in the house. Amen, lights.
It's there in the house tonight.
All right, she getting tired, y'all. Let me hurry up and get off here. She gets very goofy when she gets tired or restless.
Oh,
but here's why you bend to your wife's needs. Because you become the first sacrifice. Mm-hmm. I live by the code. My wife is the weaker vessel, meaning she's more vulnerable, which means I should be able to handle more than she can because she is the one. I'm the one she depends on, and I'm the one that she can stand on and step on so that she can always be okay. So as men, we go to each other to iron sharpen iron. Yeah. For women, they come to us to be what we need them to be. Mm-hmm. So we must bend to our wife's needs, but not to the point where you're getting neglected. Again, if you got a good wife, she's not going to abuse it. Sorry, I spit on you.
You keep spitting on me.
Sorry.
It was a shower.
Number 3.
Oh, I was going to say also being able to, like, didn't you used to always say that be prepared for your wife to kill you?
Yeah, but that's too deep. That's too deep for this live. We have to get there another day. Yeah.
But that's Chop Out of Love.
Number 3, chopoutoflove.com. Number 4. Number 3. How do you keep friends and family out of your marriage? Great question.
Keep them out.
Keep them out. Number 1, here's why it's difficult to keep friends and family out your marriage. Because you bring them in when it's convenient.
Yeah.
You got to pick a side and be consistent. Either they're going to be in or they're going to be out.
Right.
Or you have to have a balance and a team decision of what they can come in and what they have to stay out on. Yeah. But that's how you do it. Me and my wife have an agreement. I check my family. She checks her family. I don't check her in-laws. She don't check my in-laws. Well, number 1, we don't need to check our in-laws because we good. We just got peace all over the place. Yeah. Well, that's a whole. Okay, I'm talking about immediate.
Oh.
Okay.
They're not immediate.
Okay. Your family's more impoverished right now. Okay. So listen, but generally speaking, my mom, her sister, my brother, it's all peace. It's all love. So we don't have that issue. But for those that do have that issue, you have to make a decision and come to that agreement. Okay. Either they're going to be in or they're going to be out, or you're going to say, hey, you can come in this much, but after that, you can't come beyond this red tape. So keeping them out is a very important thing you have to establish with each other. But you can't bring them in when it's convenient, meaning like, they're going to take your side. Mm-hmm. So you bring them in for that argument, and then they take your side.
What you think about this?
And then when they come in on the other end, you don't want them in your own marriage. Right. You can't do that. Last question. What does it look like for submission from both partners, not just the wife? Well, submission with both partners looks like this. You listen to me, I listen to you. You trust me, I trust you.
You respect me, I respect you.
You respect me, I respect you. That's the general place of how it looks. I know we live in a culture where sometimes the patriarch tends to abuse submission, but we can never forget that men are submitted to their wives also. Yeah. So at the end of the day, I'm the head of my home, but I'm also submitted to my wife. Yeah. I listen to her. I consider her. Even though she respects me enough to make the final decision, I hear her out before I make a final decision.
Yeah, that's where the respect. I think
Yeah.
more respect for the woman is the biggest thing when it comes to like submitting to your woman.
Yeah, yeah,
You think?
100%. So we're done. We're at an hour. Listen, I got to give you all these announcements really quick. Okay, really quick. You finished? I got your back. Listen, that's an insight. Y'all can't know it. Yeah. Number one, follow us on IG. Real quick, y'all. Please. We're going to get our IG following up. We got 50,000 people plus in the Facebook group. So we need everybody to go follow us on IG, Black Marriage Club. Follow us on IG. Follow us on TikTok, Black Marriage Club. Black Marriage Club everywhere. Follow us on Instagram, Black Marriage Club. Also, Houston, July 24th. Houston, July 24th. The Winning Wives Brunch is coming. Houston, July 24th. Winning Wives Brunch is coming. Okay? It is coming. Make sure you, if you're in Houston or if you want to travel to Houston, make sure you go to the link tree in the IG page and make sure you get there. Houston, July 4th. Also,
24th.
July 24th.
Today's the 4th.
July 24th. Today is 4th. Yeah. July 24th, Houston, Winter Wives Brunch. Next, also, Facebook. We have paid promotions available. IG, we have paid promotions available. Get your brand, get your product in front of 50,000 plus people, in front of 4,000 plus people, in front of 2,000 plus people. IG, TikTok, Facebook. Listen, paid promotion will get you where you need to be.
That sounds like a song.
Yep. You support us. We take care of you. We're a family, okay? Get those paid promotions. Get to a spot ASAP, okay? Next up, August the 7th. August the 7th, right here in Las Vegas, we're launching the Vegas chapter, BMC Vegas. We're launching it. Go to our Eventbrite, okay? Go to our Eventbrite. I can't get out of here and do it at the moment. Nay, if you're watching, please pin the events in the comments. If you can, put it in the comments so I can pin it. Okay, so now listen. Here's what I want you to do. Next up, August 7th.
You said that.
Virtual. The virtual meet and greet for Atlanta. That's happening. Okay, go to Eventbrite, check that out. The DMV chapter, the meet and greet for PG and County, Maryland. Okay, that's happening August the 29th. Okay, August 29th. Next up, BMC Give Back Community Service Day. That's going to be in September, where we feed the homeless and things of that nature. I'm sorry, the backpack drive is in September.
The book bag.
The backpack book bag. I call it backpack.
Yeah.
The drive. Yeah, the drive is in September.
Yes.
Okay, the date to be announced. Feed the Homeless is in November. Okay, all chapters on the same day is going to do this service. Okay, and that's all of the announcements. Again, my name is Artis Anderson. Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry, I was just reading Zedoria Anderson.
And we are the Andersons. All right, listen, the Eventbrite is just posted. The Eventbrite has just been posted. I have pinned it. So listen, right here at the bottom. What up, Ebo? Appreciate it, Ebony. So listen, we have pinned the comment. Okay, so make sure that you go to the Eventbrite, get the tickets for your events. We're the Andersons. We're here every Sunday, 5:30 PST time, 8:30 Eastern time. Appreciate you all for having us. If you're watching the playback, we love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Any Dallas Fort Worth chapters? Listen, no Dallas chapters yet, but make a trip to Houston. Make a trip to Houston. Click the Eventbrite. Get out to Houston. Talk to the founder, Nay Shobawale, and we're going to get you going, man. Appreciate y'all. We're trying to get chapters going as fast as possible. You know, our team is a little small right now. We might expand in the future. But listen, we're always looking for brand ambassadors. So if you want to be a brand ambassador, hit us up. Hit Nay up. Hit us up. We'll connect you. And boom. we're done. Love you all. See y'all soon.
Bye.